It's almost like they planned that, Tanner, with the whole Superman thing and then the Superman theme song. I don't know. It's like they planned it. I don't know. Maybe these guys are into it. I don't know. But hey, it's season 3, episode 2 of Let's Talk Phys Ed. I'm your host, Jason Steele. With me, as always, Tanner Rose.
Hey, everybody. What's up? Hey, I had this awesome idea to buy a house this weekend. So I'm moving. Jason, you had a pretty exciting weekend. You finished a big project. Why don't you tell us about that?
Well, I finished I finished our basement, which had flooded 3 times this summer. So I think we've got the water problem licked, but only time will tell. If it floods again, I will also be moving. So I've had about enough of that. You also you had kind of an interesting little trip, right, Tanner? Something about fishing. You had
Oh, no, see, I didn't change the wording. That was for last weekend. Last weekend we went fishing with my kids and caught 0 fish. Woke up early, bought a bunch of worms. They're still in my fridge right now. Caught 0 fish. So, it was fun. My son got a treble hook stuck in his bare back. He didn't like that, but it happens.
Hey, it sounds like fishing.
Yeah, it was fishing.
That sounds awesome. I bet it was better than a good day of work, right?
It was.
All right. Well, let's stop talking. Nobody wants to listen to us talk. Everybody wants to know who our guests are today. We've got 2 amazing guests today, Daniel Hill and Will Potter. We have given them a couple name of Hill Potter.
Oh, I got top billing.
Hill Potter in the house tonight. Dan, we're going to have you go first. Tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do, why you're on our show.
I can't believe I got top billing. That's awesome. Hi, everybody. My name is Daniel Hill. I'm it's currently my 20th year teaching elementary physical education. I am from Kentucky. This is my Kentucky home. Literally, it is a place, my Kentucky home, and teach at Tates Creek Elementary. And I'm an open national trainer.
Fantastic. Will, how about you?
Will Potter. I want to correct something. I actually got almost my whole name in that combo, and he just got 1 letter. So we're going to talk top billing. I think we would start there, my whole name in there. But I teach in Belmont, California, which is a suburb of San Francisco. I've been teaching since 2002. I've been at the same school since 2005 in California, where the weather is still sunny and still nice.
It's still sunny in North Dakota, too. No snow yet, but we are, rumor has it, we are in for a doozy of a winter. So I'm looking forward to that. Ice fishing should be good this year. All right. So Hill Potter in the house tonight. We normally start with a PE related question, but clearly the audience already, they want to know what's the obsession with the Man of Steel.
No.
No.
Not that Man of Steel, of course. The Superman, or Mr. Superman himself, Clark Kent. What's the obsession with that? Like, how did it get started? Did you 2 bond over this? Will start us off with this one. What's the deal with Superman?
So first of all, it started when I was young, like 3 years old. First time I ever saw Superman the movie. Thought the man could fly, jumping off my couch, landing face first onto the flat part of the couch, just trying my best to fly. Watching Superman 1950s rerun marathons on Labor Day weekend. All kinds of fantastic love for the Man of Steel, going back all the way to childhood. And then taking that into adulthood, sort of an arrested development phase of my 20s, where I was definitely spending a lot more than I should have on memorabilia and Superman items. and then thinking I'm completely alone in my obsession, and then I meet Dan over here, who almost matches my passion.
Yeah. We're going back and forth on that ever since the first day we met. Will shows me pictures of his memorabilia and everything that what he's just said. I completely agree with. I've been obsessed with Superman my entire life, but I will always hold a little bit more of an obsession because of one factor that will maybe someday we'll reach that level is my son is named Clark. So anytime you want to, it's okay. Just saying.
Well, I'm sorry. I think he's got just one leg up on you on that one. But.
Yeah, for now.
Someday.
I'll have the ability to one up him someday.
You stand ahead above me and every day of your life, sir. So you're awesome.
So, hey, Take Your Parents to PE starts tomorrow. I'm really excited for that. I am kind of going to take it slow. I'm thinking about doing it maybe in a different month instead of this month just because I just couldn't get prepared. But I'm really excited to see what everybody else does so I can copy their ideas. The popularity of the event has just exploded. Will, can you tell us how this started for you? And then I want to know how Dan is going to do this in your first year.
Yeah, so it started for me in 2006. It was my second year at Serendipity School. And my boss came to me and said, we're not really happy with the PE program. Parents don't complain, but, we don't know if we need PE. And so I kind of panicked and freaked out. And in the spring of 2006, I decided, well, parents don't complain, but do they say anything nice? And so I invited all the parents to come in and experience PE at Bring Your Parents to PE Week. And that's kind of where it started, was literally out of desperation and freaking out that I was going to lose my job. And so that happened in the spring, and 3 months later, they gave me a contract and a healthy raise and said, we are sorry we ever doubted not having PE at Serendipity.
Awesome.
It's a great story.
Yeah.
How's it going to work for you this year, Daniel?
Well, actually, to be honest, I've had a lot of anxiety about this event. Most of my parent contacts are negative. So-and-so got hurt, so-and-so didn't make best choices today, and I feel terrible about that. But oftentimes it's my own fault for not showing the positives. So our school just adopted Class Dojo school-wide, so been sending dojo messages nearly every day and got a schedule ready to go. And I've heard from a lot of parents that they are very excited about coming. And I wanted to, Jason, give you a little shout out. Understand I have you to thank for a little bit of a name change. And this actually kind of goes back to the obsession. You and our boy Kevin McGrath from Adopt Gym had a conversation about trauma and childhood experiences, and I absolutely got down with the idea of changing the name from Take Your Parents to PE to Bring Your Hero to PE. Got a lot of positives. I'm going to bring my uncle. I'm going to bring my community member. I'm going to bring my pastor. I'm going to, so many different people that are not the parents that are positive influences my students. They're hopefully going to come this week.
Yeah, and that's kind of what the event is all about. Is it's a community building event. You invite whoever wants to come and experience PE with the children, and then not only is it a lot of fun, but it definitely shows people where PE is now, and it's not just dodgeball, and it's not just running and tag. It's actual learning experiences that occur in everybody's learning space, for lack of a better word, because I don't have a gym. I call it a learning space.
Right. And I think you touched on some really important things is that, like Dan, what you were talking about with the Bring Your Hero to PE Week, I'll be honest with you, I don't remember that conversation, but I do remember that a lot of people have said, Mr. McGrath and Jason Steele, they were talking about the bring your hero thing. So I can't, with full knowledge, take full credit of that because I don't know if it was totally his idea or mine. But there's definitely some, unfortunately, there are situations where, a student wants to bring his parent and can't. So it was just to change it to bring your hero because maybe they want to bring their grandfather or their grandmother, or maybe they want to bring their aunt or uncle or brother or sister, somebody that they look up to. And Will, you kind of touched on it too. I guarantee you that this week there are parents who are planning to go to these Bring Your Hero to PE weeks, and they're looking forward to throwing dodgeballs at their kids, right? They're looking forward to seeing how far they can kick that kickball and if they can kick it through the moon while they're doing kickball. And I think it's really important to show everybody who's going to be attending these that physical education has changed. It is not gym class anymore. We are physical educators. We are teaching physical literacy. We're teaching cross-curricular activities. We are no longer just rolling out the ball. I think it's another huge advocacy piece for us as physical educators.
Yeah, and you will get those hyper-competitive parents. I remember, and this is one of my favorite stories, but I had a parent who was maybe 5 feet, maybe weighed 100 pounds, and she was this dainty little thing, and she was playing third grade in noodle hockey, and she was hip checking kids into the boards and knocking kids over and scoring and putting her finger into kids' faces. And I looked at her and I took her aside and I said, I get it. You're excited. This is fun. But you're making your kid cry right now because you knocked her into the glass, and take it down a notch. Take it down a notch.
Yeah, I've got a lot of this week, or actually last week when I was doing the final push to get my students excited. They were like, "Do we have to wear Superman stuff?" No, you don't. It's your hero. It's an actual person in your life that does good things for you. Bring that person, invite them into your school experience, and I hope that happens across the nation.
Yeah, and I think it will. I think it's a good push for all of us.
I'm really excited to take notes on what you guys do so I can steal that later on in the school year.
Yeah, and that's important to tell people too is this is the national week, and this is the week that they picked to do the national week, but this is a community event for your school. It doesn't matter when you do it, just do it. Like, get it done. Avoid holidays, but whenever it works for your school and whenever you think you're ready, do it then. I used to do my event in October. It started in the spring, and then I put it around my birthday because I knew I'd have my parents in town. And now I'm trying to keep it aligned with that national week, but that's also when it works great for my school. So do what's best for your community and your school.
Absolutely. Yeah. Good deal. So Will, you're kind of a professional movie watcher, and we've had some discussions, you and I. We were able to sit down when we were in Sioux Falls together, and there was some back and forth on movie quotes, and I'm not going to say there were some arguments, but Will was really upset when I out quoted him from all these movies. It was like he didn't think I had it in me. But what we're going to do now, that's a different discussion for another time. But what we're going to do now is we're going to have a little competition between Daniel and Will. Will kind of screwed up and told me in Sioux Falls that one of his favorite actors of all time is Tom Cruise. And so, hold on.
I won't say that he's my favorite actor. I will say that he has not made a bad movie ever. He's made movies that have aged poorly, but not made bad movies.
Well, anyways, so favorite actor being
that's high praise. That's high praise. Okay.
We're just going to call it his favorite actor, Tom Cruise.
I'm not a Tom Cruise fan, so congratulations.
So
then we better handicap this. Let's handicap this.
Well, yes. Okay. So because we all know that Will is like a professional movie watcher, Dan, we don't know where you sit on any of these movies. I would probably win this competition if I wasn't the judge and actually doing this.
Well, if you were the one making all these questions, 90% of the quotes are coming from Top Gun.
There's no way he made these questions.
I did not make the question. But I would win, and we'll see if any of them even come from Top Gun. Will. Anyways, so here's how this is going to work. We're going to do a Tom Cruise quote, and the first person to shout out their answer from what movie it comes from is the winner, or we'll get a point, and we've got a few of them, and we'll see. Tanner, you'll have to keep score here, okay? We ready?
I got a pen.
All right, here we go. First one. Name the movie in which Cruise plays a disabled veteran.
Or
Born on the 4th of July.
Half a point for each.
Oh, I gotta write this down actually.
Yeah, you got we don't have like bells on this show and like official, I don't know, I'm looking at like the yellow box around their head maybe to who answers first. Half a point for each. Okay. Name a movie that Tom Cruise starred in with his ex, Nicole Kidman.
Far and Away or Days of Thunder?
Yeah.
There's one more. There's one more.
There's one more.
Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh,
Will's got him again.
Will's
Okay.
got all three. That was a
Bad
3-pointer.
that I know that movie, but yeah.
I've never heard of that movie.
I'll be honest.
I saw 2 out of 3 of them in the theater.
I only knew the jacket just came off. Will's getting serious. Here we go. Who was Tom Cruise talking to when Maverick said, "I just want to serve my country to be the best pilot in the Navy, sir"? Who was he talking to?
Tom Skerritt. Do I need the character's name?
Yep.
Do you have a call name?
Yeah.
I'm going to say Tom Skerritt, which would be I don't know what his call name was.
I'll give you half a point. It was Viper.
Viper.
That was pretty good.
Can I request a flyby, please? Just saying.
Negative, Ghost Rider. The pattern is full.
I understand. Flyby. Get it right. See, got a cape. Got it.
Oh, now he's got the cape on.
All right, here we go. In which Tom Cruise movie did he say, "All things end badly, or else they wouldn't end"?
Mission Impossible.
One of my favorite Tom Cruise movies, actually, of all time.
That we read the quote again?
Which Tom Cruise movie did he say, "All things end badly, or else they wouldn't end"?
Magnolia?
Erroneous. It is from Cocktail.
Oh.
Cocktail.
Oh.
Great Tom Cruise movie if you haven't seen it.
Great soundtrack.
Which Tom Cruise movie did he say, "You want to know something funny? You actually made me think about the law. I managed to go through 3 years of law school without doing that"?
Few Good Men.
Yeah.
No?
Oh, Dan, what do you got?
The Firm.
Yeah, I was going to say A Few Good Men, but I can't
Good
handle
point.
the truth. I cannot handle the truth.
Okay, what movie did Tom Cruise tell his older brother, "I'll let you drive sometime," after his brother bragged about
Rain
being
Man.
forever?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rain Man.
Definitely Rain Man.
Yeah.
Definitely Rain Man.
Definitely.
Kmart sucks.
Definitely.
Kmart
Yeah.
sucks.
Jeff Wapner. It's time for Wapner.
Okay, last one.
Excellent driver.
Last one. This is for 100 points. If Dan gets this one over Will, he wins. Tom Cruise's character Charlie is asked to go to Cincinnati to buy boxer shorts for his older brother in what store?
It's Kmart. Kmart sucks.
What?
Okay, Will
Yeah,
win. I don't
that's right.
It's Kmart.
Wow.
It's another Rain Man question.
Yeah, it is. They're back-to-back Rain Man questions.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
so I'll be honest again now that the trivia is over. Will would have beat me in that.
Without a doubt. There was no question.
Yeah.
All right, we should have totally like rigged that so that Dan had all the right answers. So as soon as I started saying it, boom, that would have been funny.
I considered.
I don't know if I should be proud or embarrassed because that much Tom Cruise knowledge is frightening.
You don't
Okay.
have to, feel afraid that you're going to offend Tom Cruise, because the last I saw, and I just looked before tonight, he is not a follower of Let's Talk Phys Ed.
Okay.
We are up to 145 now, so
What?
Woo-wee.
And if you, hey, we've never done this before. If you follow the show, great. If you don't, hit the subscribe button. I saw Dude Perfect did that, so I thought we should do it.
Hit the subscribe button. Do this.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So I don't know where the subscribe button is on, but it's red. Hit it. Hey, if we have 4 more people, that'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Hey, so during the Phys Ed Summit, Dan, you got to share a mindfulness and some yoga resources. In fact, I watched it one day while I was warming up for class. I was typing in some notes, and my child's teacher, she went to a yoga class this summer where they taught people, our educators, how to use yoga in their classroom. And I shared it with her, and she responded really well to it. So what is your favorite yoga resource? And then I want you to tell us about the yoga resource where we get to hear your audio voice, like where we get to hear that and play that for our students.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, several years ago, I had an opportunity with several members of my district to go to Rhinebeck, New York to learn from the Holistic Life Foundation. They're a nonprofit based out of Baltimore, and they do yoga and mindfulness for at-risk youth trainings throughout the United States and internationally. They're just absolutely amazing guys. They go into schools and that are, in pretty rough areas and basically turn kids around through these techniques. And basically the schools go from suspensions and expulsions because of behavior to none because of these techniques. But my go-to yoga source has to be, without a doubt, YoMind. It's a website based out of Oregon. It's very user friendly. You got to click on it, and there's videos, there's poses. It's amazing stuff. I like to record some guided meditations for my class, for myself, and that educator that popped in and saw that. Hopefully, they had a pretty calm day, ending class in a calm way. As students go back after PE, it keeps me employed, I think, because, in Kentucky, we're not required to have physical education at the elementary and the middle school level. So it's up to building level administration to decide whether or not they have physical education. So if those people are happy and they have a calm class going back, I'm the best teacher in the world. So
yeah.
It helps that.
So, and I have to bring this up because it seems like, you're starting to see more and more of this in the physical education world. And recently there have been some stories that have come out and kind of gone viral and whatever. But have you had any backlash from anybody regarding like the yoga things that you do? I mean, there was, I don't know specifics, but there have been teachers who have lost their job because they're doing yoga and the community doesn't agree with it. For me, I don't, where I teach, I don't think I would have any of that. But, kind of where you're from, has anybody ever,
me personally, no. I've actually, on the contrary, actually my schedule changed this year. Our 4th and 5th grade get to actually choose their special based on kind of a bank of resources. And one of those specific classes that starts in a couple weeks is I called it Stretch Your Calm. So basically a lot of yoga, a lot of mindfulness, a lot of flexibility training, and students got to pick it, and parents are on board with it.
Cool. Good. That's good. And I'm not saying, at it by any means that I'm against it at all. I think it's silly when you hear these stories and they talk about this teacher lost their job because they were doing yoga in physical education class. To me, it seems like there's more.
There's definitely a, it's a bias based on people thinking that teaching yoga is teaching religion around it or things like that. So, and I think, even if you call it something different, I think people are okay with that as long as you stay away from the religious aspects.
Yeah. And I'm good for you. That's awesome. I kind of do want to hear, we're going to talk more off screen about the schedule thing that you just mentioned. Sure. That sounds really interesting that 4th and 5th graders get to kind of pick their schedule.
I'd love to talk to you about it.
Yeah. So we're running out of time here. We've got about 8 minutes left before we actually get booted off. So we want to talk. Let's get more on a lighter side. Will, we want to hear a funny story about Dan. Dan, we want to hear a funny story about Will. And if you don't have one, you can tell a funny story about Tanner because there's tons of them.
Let's see.
Kind of put you on the spot. So Will, if you don't have one, Dan, if you have one, you can jump in too.
Gosh, while you're thinking, Will, it's not really funny, but I just really enjoyed the Open Impact Award where we got in a photo booth, two Superman geeks getting in a photo booth together. That picture that we took, it's in my office, and we're, like this, and epic.
It is. That's one of my favorite moments of us together.
And if memory serves, you both had Superman shirts underneath your suit and tie, correct?
That is correct. We both Clark Kented it that night.
All right.
That's pretty amazing.
I think it goes back when we first met in Stillwater, and it was that moment when I was like, oh, Superman, oh, Superman, like, yeah. And you find that brother from another mother that, you just connect and you click. And I think that's, like nerding out on Superman together is probably the best story I have together. And that goes back to Stillwater.
Tanner, you got any funny stories about either of these two?
About either of these two? Funny stories about these guys. Let's say, no, I do have a story. I was in Stillwater that weekend too, and I got to sit down and hang out with Daniel and have some supper with him, and got to have a good time and figure out who he is, and really, excited me about things that he's doing there in Kentucky. And
we're gonna make some funny stories when you come out to our conference. So Tanner is coming to Kentucky. Can't wait.
I heard I'm a little jealous.
Me too.
And then with Will, he showed me his business card once. So then, like about a month or two ago, I made some business cards. And I was really excited about them. And then I better not talk too well. My wife will hear. I just bought some new business cards, so I changed them up. So they're coming in the mail.
And a new business card.
I got new business cards too. So, anyway, but they're because Will, I was with him in like the UPS store, and he was showing me his. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't know you could do that. Like, I didn't know that was a thing. Turns out it's a big thing. So
yeah,
I made it because I have 500 that I'm probably not going to use.
I have a story that involves Jason and a stolen cell phone in Tampa, and I believe Tanner's in that as well, and I think Dan is as well.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I have some video proof and some photo proof of somebody who stole my phone in Tampa during my session and left me some very encouraging messages.
That's the story, Will. That's the story. Tell the 15-minute story.
You started off with. See,
it's a funny one.
Cell phone. We stole your cell phone. But I believe, and you can share the video. Please do share the video, like when this goes on Twitter, of me saying, "Will, you're doing a great job."
It was the best thing ever. Going through my photos after and finding this video of like how great I am, even though I'm being completely ignored by everybody in the photos. But during that session as well, Dan comes up to me and taps me on the shoulder and says, "Hey, your session's over. You got to finish." So wrapped it up as quick as I could, and then everybody leaves, and turns out I still had 15 minutes left. So Shape America, I'm sorry I ended my session 15 minutes early. You can blame Mr. Hill for that.
So that was a good
take full blame, and I still will ask forgiveness.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
You know what, guys? Thank you so much for taking your taking some time out of your schedule to join us. Fantastic show. Great job with the movie trivia, Will. Reigning champion. Sorry, Dan, on that.
I will take all comers.
Okay.
Challenge has been accepted.
Yeah.
Uh,
No more Tom Cruise.
no more Tom Cruise. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. Let's Talk Phys Ed, season 2, season 3. Sorry, episode
3.
It'll be live tonight on Twitter. Thank you so much, guys. Real quick before we leave, Will, how can we get a hold of you?
Twitter at Mr. Will PE, Facebook, Mr. Will PE. Pretty much Googling Mr. Will PE will bring up me and my name, but also my website at Mr. Will PE or MrWillPE.com.
Great.
Awesome. Dan, how about you?
Find me on Twitter, Super Dan PE. Super Dan PE. Yeah, Tanner, can't wait to see you in Kentucky. See you, everybody.
All right, can't wait to be there.
Thanks, everybody.